What in the world just happened?
What? Holy cow. I cannot believe that. Carson may have just, even though the Tailgaters lost, I got to give credit where credit is due. Carson may have just cemented himself as the best rookie in the league. Holy cow. But Bryson Bloomer just won it. Wow.
That was the craziest showdown ending I've ever seen. And again, Brett Carson as a rookie is pulling this off. So absolutely incredible game. We are so excited to break it all down for you. And again, we're going to have Drake Toll joining us in just a little bit, but
yeah, he's still over there on the Party Animals channel. He's talking about the game. Once he's done, he's going to hop on here and we're going to break it all down. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. We could probably talk about the showdowns for like an hour. This was insane.
Yeah, I think that might be what we're talking about for an hour. But just while we get started, we had a couple comments in here. Celtics fan, what are we witnessing? I have no idea. This is absolutely crazy. Bryson Bloomer with that crazy grand slam. And yeah, can you guys hear us well? We can add our microphones here. I think we were too gung-ho about getting started that we didn't have that in. So let us know if you can hear us. We'll test out the microphone here for just a second. Okay, let us know. We tried the audio now. Can you hear us a little bit better? We've got that in there. Hey, Kennedy, thank you for joining us. We are so excited to break this all down. I still can't believe what we just witnessed in those showdowns.
I can't believe it either. I seriously am shocked. I mean, it was incredible that it even went to showdowns. It really felt like for a lot of the game, the Tailgaters were a little bit nervous. You saw that with the ball force sprints. They were not totally prepared, it seemed like, for those situations, and the Party Animals scored on a couple ball force sprints there, and it really felt like the Party Animals just had control. But then the 8th inning rolls around, they're able to get it to within 1, they're able to tie it in the 9th, and we go to showdowns. Incredible comeback by the Tailgaters, but ultimately the Party Animals were able to pull it out.
Yeah, and I cannot believe Brett Carson for the Tailgaters is now going to be considered one of the greats in Banana Ball. I cannot believe the performance he pulled off in his first ever Banana Ball game. And the other thing was, they said it on the broadcast. In his other team that he played for that was normal baseball last year, he didn't pitch. He was just a normal fielder. What is going on?
That coach he probably needs to find a new job. At this point, he's watching that right now and he's like, I'm about to get fired. I do not know how to scout talent. That was crazy. Okay, here's a little bit of an overreaction here, but this was going on in my head. I'm getting a little nervous because I'm a Party Animals fan. Yes, I got a new shirt. Thanks, Samantha. She pointed that out. Thank you for noticing. It's a new Party Animals shirt. So I was getting a little nervous there. We got to talk about how Drew Gillespie gets pulled.
Yeah.
So Drew Gillespie is the best closer in the league, and he still has that title. But here's a hot take here. If Brett Carson was able to pull this off and Drew Gillespie got pulled, that's a whole new conversation, right? That Brett Carson as a rookie taking that belt.
Yeah.
Belt as the to pull a Bill Simmons podcasting quote right there, So
yeah.
Here, okay.
And everyone, we would like to welcome to the stage Cole. Drake, what is going on in your head right now with that closing right there?
I kid you not. You're the first person to hear this. I haven't told anybody yet. My throat's bleeding. I can taste the blood in the back of my throat just because you're like, I feel like that Georgia Tech football game, 8 when they went to 8 overtimes, right? And you're just like back and forth. I was like, how much more of this do I have in me? Like, I'm about to pass out here. And then, I mentioned just a second ago to our marketing crew, if Bloomer hits a single right there, right, it's still a classic. What a game, 5-4, tailgates were gritty. Instead, he breaks history. He's the first Grand Slam in Banana Ball history. It's a walk-off Grand Slam, and not just in the 9th. It's a walk-off Grand Slam in showdowns, the second home run in showdowns history. Didn't see it a single time last year. Full body chills still. I don't know when I'll come down from that. I said it on the broadcast. Say it again. I need a beer. I just need one singular beer. trying to like get me back into having real normal human thoughts.
My goodness, that was insane. And you said it at the end of the broadcast there that you can't script that. Like that was just insane. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I man, so much credit to Brett Carson. I probably said it 10 times, but I cannot emphasize enough. We just found a star. We just found a dude. We found a bunch of stars like Castillo, Nick Lopez, Brett Carson, Munoz, Mac Danford with a ball against Gillespie. I don't think anybody's ever hit a ball that far against Drew Gillespie. I've seen like that kind of pump from dudes that have never played banana ball before. Like those are names that we're not very familiar with or who haven't played the sport at all, and they stepped up tonight. Even where Zach Watson, Jordan Hussein, Taj Porter, Indy Stanley weren't 3 for 4. They weren't 4 for 5. It was guys who are new. My hat goes off to Brett Carson because he deserved to win. Honestly, the Tailgaters as a team deserved to win, and so did the Party Animals. You had to find a loser somewhere down the stretch right there.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Like we were looking at each other like, okay, 9th inning, it's tied. We might have a chance for showdowns. Then it goes to showdowns, and it's like, okay, they could pull it off right here, round 1, and it just kept going. I'm absolutely blown away by Brett Carson's performance. That was crazy.
Oh, seriously. Yeah. I still haven't had the beer yet. I still haven't yet. Nobody's brought me one. I'm just waiting. I'm hoping a listener out there is like, yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Brett Carson deserves the world after that. Man, guys, I can't. I was thinking I was there like the last couple rounds showdowns. Like, man, can't wait to hop on with those guys. Classic game. And then when he launched that ball off the bat, my first thought was, shoot, the banana breakdown is gonna be a crazy one. We're gonna have a banana ball breakdown for the 8th. So I can't wait to listen back to what you guys said to start the show and how to say the rest of the show. But, man, I had like 5 minutes right here. I wanted to hop on and just let you guys know that we are all, as an organization, big fans of your work. We watch a ton of the stuff that you do and love that people consider banana ball as a legitimate sport that they can follow, keep up with statistically. I speak on behalf of Josh Zalewski. Social media pages. Like we follow you guys. We're super appreciative of people who treat the sport with its due diligence as a sport. And so more than happy after a game like that to give you guys a little hello and keep doing what you're doing. Party on.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate all you do.
We'll smell you guys.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was so sweet. Someone's got to check on that guy's throat. His throat's bleeding. That was insane. He called a fantastic game. I was really impressed. He was by himself in the booth. He was the play-by-play guy and the color guy. Really just amazing. He deserves a big round of applause, and we really appreciate all he does and that he came on the podcast. That was awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to keep going and talking about the showdown, talk about a little bit of the Firefighters and Bananas games if we ever come down from that crazy ending for the Tailgaters. But yeah, let's get into it a little bit right here. So really quick as we're going, we're going to update the standings right here. So the Savannah Bananas won the game tonight against the Firefighters. So we're going to update them here to 15 wins. And that came against the Firefighters, who unfortunately logged their second loss of the season. They were really close tonight in the game against the Bananas, but unfortunately could not pull it off.
Yeah, that game was awesome too. But the game that stole the show, let's talk about it. I would like to do the honors here. Brandon, for some reason, always does it, even though it's the Party Animals that are typically winning. I've never done this before. I'm really excited to do it live. So here we go. The Party Animals with the win brings them to 20 wins on the year.
Absolutely
That's
incredible.
What I'm talking about. Not 29, but 20.
So yeah, we've got our scoreboard here updated that we update every week. And for those of you who are joining us live right now, we do a weekly breakdown podcast where we break down all of the games right here on this channel. So be sure to subscribe for that. And then every once in a while, we'll do a post-game live stream like this one. We chose this one because it was the first headliner of the Party Animals this year and the first Texas Tailgaters game. But it also happened to be one of the greatest games in banana ball history with that showdown. So we picked a great night.
We seriously did. That was really great, selfishly for us that, I was just thinking, wow, we're going to make some great content tonight. No, the game we do it for the love of the game. That was an awesome game. I'm still in shock and I have no words. We'll break down we want to break down the entire showdowns because Brett Carson just really was amazing. He did give up that grand slam at the end there, but that just I feel for him that's the way that it ended because he was outstanding.
Seriously.
The entire I mean, did he come in the 8th? Was that the 8th or the 7th to close it? Just amazing work by him as a rookie. First showing on the mound. Just amazing. Okay.
Yeah, so when we get into that, we're going to quickly add the microphone back in now that Drake is off. So let us know if you can hear us in just a second. Hear us there. Hopefully that audio is a little bit better. I think we're clear on this end. But yeah, let's get into the showdown right now. So we get to round 1 of the showdowns, and Drew Gillespie's on the mound, and he strikes out Marcus Castillo right off the bat, putting the Party Animals in an insanely good spot.
That was classic Drew Gillespie right there. He did give up a run in the 9th to send it to showdowns, but when Drew Gillespie steps onto the mound, excuse me, I'm just so excited right now. When Drew Gillespie stepped onto the mound in showdowns, I'm like, okay, this is it. This is where Drew shows how good he is, and he had that epic walkout intro that they had that video.
That was amazing.
Everyone knows he's the best pitcher in the sport, but Brett Carson apparently doesn't know that. I guess he didn't know. He thought that it was him. So it was just an amazing pitching battle. But yeah, he struck out Castillo there. Yeah.
And then Brett Carson comes up after having an amazing 8th and 9th inning, taking the Party Animals down, and he gets the batter to ground it, and it was just right in the infield next to the mound. So Brett Carson was able to get it. The batter ran all the way around and almost got to home, but it was clearly going to be an out the whole time. So Brett Carson was just waiting for him and tagged him out. So now it is round 2.
Yeah, so round 2 was pretty basic. That both runners scored there. So now we're going to round 3. Nothing too crazy there, but round 3 gets really crazy because now so round 2. I know you guys have watched it, but in case people for whatever reason are on the stream but didn't watch the game, I'm so happy that you're here. But just to explain it, round 2 you have no fielder, so the pitchers were by themselves. Both batters scored. But round 3, you bring the fielder back, but now their bases are loaded. So this is where the scores can get interesting. And yeah, so go for it.
And this is where it was absolutely crazy. So Chase Acuff is standing just off of second base. So he's right there. Literally, if they hit it anywhere else in the ballpark, they're pretty much guaranteed to score at least 1 run because there's a runner on third as well as every other base. The batter lines it right to Chase Acuff. It bounces right in front of him into his glove, and he guns it home to get the runner on third out.
It was a force out there too. He was able to just step on the plate. The catcher was able to step on the plate, and yeah, no runner scored after usually, batter makes contact, at least one run is going to score in that situation. But no, batter made contact, not a hit, no run scored, just insane. And then Brett Carson comes out, and this has got to be this has got to be his moment, right? Like this.
Yeah.
He is a rookie. Remember, he's a rookie. The Tailgaters' first ever game in Banana Ball history for them. First game. Most of these guys are rookies. They're playing against the Party Animals, who have by far been the best team in Banana Ball this season. So they're going against the guys, and he goes up. Brett Carson goes up, and he gets it to a 3-2 count. And the game's over if he throws a ball. The game's over. But he still throws a ball, and it was Fisher, right?
Yeah.
And Fisher, he swung. He got him. Fisher thought that it was going to be right down the plate because he knew just a nasty pitch, a nasty curveball, and it. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think we can gloss over that enough. 3-2 count. If it's a ball, the Party Animals win the game, and Brett Carson knows that. So first pitch, right down the middle, Noah Fisher he gets a foul ball.
Yeah.
He is expecting it to come right down the middle again because he knows if you throw a ball here, I won't swing and we'll win the game. So he throws it, and it just slides right there out of the strike zone, right out of reach of Noah Fisher. He swings, and Brett Carson got the strikeout of a lifetime.
Yeah, it was insane. We were following along in the chat there while we were watching the game. Biko, he had a comment there where he was just like, I am going to be, right before the pitch, he's like, I'm going to be shocked if Carson's able to get out of this. And he did. And it was insane. All right, so now we're going to round 4. And this is where I kind of ate my words. Drew Gillespie is pulled.
And like, not glossing over that,
Yeah.
we looked at each other and we both said, what?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Yeah. I guess, yeah. So the Vivacis thought that he wasn't up for it right now, I guess. Drew Gillespie's an amazing guy, but yeah, he needed a break. He had been pitching for a while. But I was shocked. I thought you got to leave him in because he's going to be the one that can win you this game here. But no, they put in Brady Keiss, and he gets a strikeout, man. He goes up there and just insane. Oh, man. Okay. And then what happens?
So we're going to keep talking about this, but leave your questions and comments about the games in the chat. We'll get to those in just a minute. If you have any other conversations from both games tonight you want us to talk about, leave them there.
Oh, man.
Okay, we are in round 4. It is now the bottom of round 4, and because Brady Keiss struck out the Texas Tailgaters, again, bases are loaded. If the Party Animals score 1 point, it's over. All they have to do, there's one fielder. All they have to do is just dribble it to the right or to the left, game's over. But then Bryson Bluto comes up, and there's a battle. Again, in the round 3, Brett Carson got him to a 3-2 count, and that's what happened with that crazy stuff with Noah Fisher. It happened again. We got to a 3-2 count again.
Amazing at-bat.
And again, they now know what he can do. He can't really throw a slider back out because they might expect that. He throws it right down the middle. Bryson Bloom was expecting it.
Grand slam!
Out of the park, grand slam. Absolutely bombed it. And it was a no-doubter.
Oh, my goodness.
As soon as he made contact, you knew it was out of the park.
Yeah. It was crazy. All right, Martin, I know we're going to get to everyone's comments here, but Martin has a really good point that makes me, take back what I said. Again, I made this comment in the chat because in the chat when he was pulled, I was like, how do you pull Drew there? Come on. And then when Brady Keiss gets the strikeout, I said, this is why we're podcasters and not banana ball coaches. We don't know. we just talk about stuff. We don't actually know how to coach a game. Martin, it was a good point. Drew was exhausted from his run. So he had, because of round 2, he had to run all the way back to try to get the ball because there's no fielder. So good to keep that in mind. Yeah,
and the same thing goes for Brett Carson, where it would, with how good he was doing, it did not make sense to pull him, but he also had to run in that one. And so these pitchers, what they have to go through in showdowns when it goes to multiple rounds is insane. And it's crazy. Like, again, kudos to Brady Keiss. Like, the fact that you can come in a moment like that and just quickly pull it out and then get a strikeout.
Yeah, amazing.
Like, so well done by him.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Let's get to some of these comments here.
Yeah, so we're going to jump away from the showdowns. We're probably going to revisit it a couple more times tonight because that was absolutely crazy. But Adam has a point that we wanted to talk about today, and I think it's a great time to go into it. The Tailgaters really struggled in their ball four sprint defense. Yes. So we wrote down from watching the game that there were 2 specific instances where the ball four sprint defense happened, and they were not able to get it to each other correctly, and it resulted in the Party Animals scoring. And a couple times, I think that the runner was on first base. Like, they were able to get all the way around to home because they couldn't get the ball around. Now,
there's a missed ball. The catcher threw it too far, and there's an error there. So
and it's one of those things that the ball four sprint defense, they've been able to practice it a little bit, but they haven't had the same amount of time to dedicate it like the Party Animals and Bananas have had. And so I think they're going to get it down, but this game, it was all over the place. So they had that happen on those 2. And then the next one that happened was when they did a ball four sprint. This was nothing to do with the defense. Just the pitcher gave up a ball four sprint when there was a runner on second or third, and it allowed another run. Yeah. So it was just another opportunity where on all sides of it, pitching and on defense, the ball four sprints really hindered the Texas Tailgaters tonight. But from an overall game perspective, I'm so glad that it did, because if they did any better, they would have won and we wouldn't have had this showdown.
Yeah, that's for sure. You could tell, we said this before. This is the Tailgaters' first ever game. A lot of these guys are rookies. You could tell that they were a little nervous. It's a little bit that, you're in this game situation. You're not. This isn't just a practice. This isn't just a scrimmage. You're in this environment, and it's hard to get into those positions that are so unique to banana ball.
Yeah.
This is their first ever time. Obviously, they've practiced. Obviously, they've had the scrimmage, but they've grown up their entire life playing baseball. They haven't played banana ball. And so when the situation comes where it's a ball four, you have to just get rid of all of the muscle memory that you've had growing up, where you don't need to run to second base to try to get everyone touch the ball.
Uh-huh.
And so you could tell the outfielders were a little slow to get to second base, and that caused some errors there.
Yeah, and before we continue into that, we've got a lot of you on the live stream right now. We'd love to know where you are watching from. Let us know where you're watching from, state if you're in the United States, if you're in another country, what country. We'd love to see where some of the audience is from so we can get to know each other a little bit better. But yeah, those ball four sprints really hindered the Texas Tailgaters. And there's a couple things here. So Celtics fan calls out. Some of the guys have already played. You've got like Jordan Hussein, Taj Porter, a couple of the other players who were on the Party Animals last year and got pulled over to the Tailgaters. But the majority of them are new here. Martin, kicker to be in for the first real game for a sold-out house. Yeah, like I can't believe that Brett Carson did this in front of a sold-out crowd in the first game. Like, and for anyone who was there, that must have been awesome.
Oh man, just amazing.
Yeah. So we got a couple of them coming through here. Start us off.
Alabama. Now that's a place I've never been, and also Australia. I've never been there either.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. That is so cool. Welcome.
And then Martin from Canada, welcome. Kennedy from Idaho, and going to 4 games. That's incredible.
Wow, that's amazing. So you've been traveling around to those 4 games. Which games have you been to? I would like to know. That is so cool.
We got Arizona,
nice.
Samantha, Amy Miller, Pennsylvania. There we go.
Cool.
And Celtics fan, I'm shocked. From Boston.
Boston, really? Celtics fan in Boston. That makes a lot of sense. That's awesome. Welcome to all of you. We're so glad that you're here. If you're new, we're the Banana Breakdown podcast guys. We break down all things banana ball. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe so that you can, we talk about banana ball every week. We have interviews. We had an interview with Jonathan Luters, and we're going to talk about him because he made contact with the ball on a unicycle. So we have that interview with him that you're going to want to go see. And on Monday, our interview with Reese Alexiadis of the Bananas comes out. You're going to want to see that as well. Should we talk about how our boy Jonathan?
I think we should. That was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, Jonathan Luters with the first ever. Sorry, we're kind of all over the place. This game was insane. This is what happens when you get live stream. Sammy and Brandon, we're kind of crazy. We don't edit out all our crazy stuff. Jonathan Luters, maybe it's some good karma. He was on the podcast this week, and then something really cool happened for him. I don't know. Maybe we should tell people that so they want to come on. Keep that in mind. Write that down. Just kidding. Jonathan Luters with the first ever trick play in Tailgaters history with, I'm pretty sure it was a quadruple in between the legs, and then past the first base.
So we'll pull it up right here.
Welcome, Savannah Bananas.
Hey, the Savannah Bananas are in the house.
Yeah, what a game. That game was insane. Your game was great too. Way to pull out a win against the Firefighters. That was an awesome game we watched too. But yeah, the Party Animals and Tailgaters, a legendary game, one of the best games in banana ball history.
Yeah, so really quick on that, talking about the 2 games going on at once, check out our Instagram, anyone who's watching right now. We posted a video of the 2 games going on at once that we were trying to keep up on so that we could get prepared for the live stream tonight. But yeah, thank you, Savannah Bananas, for joining us in the chat. So Jonathan Luters, he comes up, and so Tanner Thomas is up at the plate, and he hits it over to Jonathan Luters, and we see this insane trick play. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
That was amazing. So again, Jonathan Luters, we just had him on the podcast. This guy is amazing. We had such a fun conversation. And so seeing him do this, we were so excited for Jonathan in this moment. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. And he throws it to first. And it's really subtle. I want to call this out here. Watch what Jonathan's doing. if you watch after he does it a couple times, he looks at where the batter is. He is watching the batter so that he knows how many times he can throw it before he goes to first base. So Jonathan was he was ready to go a couple more times if he could, but he wanted to make sure that he never got in the way of actually getting the player out.
Yeah, that was amazing. And he kind of gave us, you're going to want to go see the interview for the whole thing, but he gave us kind of a behind the scenes look at like how people view, or how players view trick plays. And so the thing that he said, so he kind of laid it out as there's 4 different types of trick plays, and you kind of have 2 combinations of those 4 make a type of trick play. So he says that he is quick air. So he says, so there's air and ground, quick and smooth. So air stays in the air, ground, it bounced on the ground. And so he is quick air. You saw how fast he got the ball in between his legs there and passed it to first base. It was just cool. It was awesome to hear kind of like the, the behind the scenes there. And yeah, first trick play in Tailgaters history goes to Jonathan Looters.
Yeah, so that was really cool to see, and we were super excited to see that. And again, first trick play for the Tailgaters. What an awesome moment. And yeah, let me see this comment right here. Martin, great first trick play. I was not watching that game live. Yeah, no, that trick play was insane. And we'd seen something like that from the scrimmage. A video got put online by Jonathan, and just a teaser of that. I love what he can do. So if you look at his Instagram, he does the unicycling stuff, and then he does like quick hand-eye coordination stuff. So we're not only going to see him bat on the unicycle, we're going to see a lot of these quick hands trick plays. And he told us on the podcast interview that he played some soccer. So he's going to try to do some like around the horn, do some kicking on the ball.
Yeah, kind of use the ball like a hacky sack type thing. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, you're going to want to check out that full interview because it was great stuff. He gave us, it was awesome. It's a great guy.
Yeah, but Jonathan Looters on the batting side, so he's a little bit different from Stilts in this fact. Stilts only comes up to bat on the stilts, obviously. He never is off of the stilts on the game.
Those are his legs.
Those are his legs, yes. But Jonathan Looters, he is sometimes on the unicycle batting and sometimes not. And from this game, it appears that was going to be a once a game kind of a thing. So he was up batting normally the first couple at bats, and then he came on the unicycle. And he made contact. It was a grounder in the infield. Unfortunately, he got out at first. But, oh my gosh, in a real game, making contact while sitting on a unicycle going back and forth is absolutely incredible.
I mean, it's just impressive. Drake, actually, he made this comment in the broadcast. He was like, he's just impressed that he stayed in the box.
Yeah.
You know? Because if he falls off and he falls out of the box, that's a strike. He can't leave the batter's box. And so for him to be on the unicycle there, going back and forth, balancing, super cool. And yeah, it's all arms when you're on that unicycle. You don't get any core when you're hitting. So probably, who knows, it would be absolutely incredible if he hits a home run one day, but probably won't ever see that. But yeah, great stuff. Really impressive that he even made contact, and I'm really excited for that first hit. Hopefully it's tomorrow.
Definitely. And yeah, so the rest of the weekend, we're going to have another game for the Texas Tailgaters and Party Animals tomorrow. And then just a little teaser for what's coming ahead from the Banana Breakdown podcast. Sammy already mentioned it. Monday, Reese Alexiades, Superman from the Savannah Bananas. We got that interview. Then Wednesday, we'll be releasing our breakdown from the weekend. So we'll go a little bit more in depth than what we're doing tonight across the weekend as a whole, seeing the larger picture. And then we're also going to have a crazy weekend there. And Celtics fan, you are one step ahead of us. Disneyland on Wednesday. So Savannah Bananas Day is happening at Disneyland on next Wednesday, May 28th. And fortunately, I'm going to be able to go there. We'll be filming a lot of stuff there and posting it for you guys to see, get an inside look at that.
I will be at work.
And yeah, we'll show some of that as well. A little bit of a back and forth. But Sammy's going to be joining us that weekend in Anaheim. We had another interview with Manana Anthony, and he was able to swing us some tickets for the Anaheim game next Saturday between the Firefighters and the Savannah Bananas. So Sammy and I will be going in person to that game on May 31st.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't wait. So again, we're going to be taking a lot of videos there and bringing you guys behind the scenes on what it's like to be at a Banana Ball game if some of you haven't been able to go.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. This has been a crazy couple weeks and a crazy, crazy, crazy game.
Yeah, so we're
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that a lot, and we want to go into the rest of the game.
See ya, Martin. Thanks for joining.
Oh yeah, thanks, Martin. Really appreciate you being here from Canada. We appreciate it. But yeah, so we'll go into a little bit of these things. But if there's any part, since there's 2 games, there's a lot to go over. Anything you want us to cover tonight, make sure to leave it in the comments so that we definitely.
Yeah, and if there's anything you want us to cover, any questions that you have, we will pause with whatever we're talking about here, and talk about that. So yeah.
So wanted to get started with the overall look at the 2 games. So with game number 1 with the or game number 2 tonight, Texas Tailgaters, they pulled off an amazing game, even though they were not able to pull it off in the end. So just want to show this here. So overall, the points of the game, it was 4-4 until the end of the game, until Bryson Bloomer hit that grand slam. But overall, look at this. Texas Tailgaters got 10 runs and the Party Animals got 4. This is where the interesting thing of the rules of Banana Ball, where you only score 1 point per inning. There was one inning where the Tailgaters scored 5 runs and another inning where they had a 3-run home run. So they were very good with the momentum within those innings, but the Party Animals were able to pull it off a little bit more throughout it. Again, Texas Tailgaters got a lot of hits leading to those runs. And then overall in the trick play department, they were able to snag a few, but the Party Animals pulled off the most there.
Yeah, so the Tailgaters really, like we said before, they were a little rusty at the beginning, but they really got hot at the end. But ultimately, the Party Animals were able to pull it off. But yeah, I think we need to go. You mentioned that 3-run home run. I think we need to show that because that was the first ever Tailgaters home run in history. That was Mac. Shoot, I am blanking on his.
We'll pull up his name in a second.
Yeah. But his first name is Mac. Cool name. Yeah, so we need to pull that up there because that was just incredible. I'm going to pull up the timestamp right now. So
yeah, but also I just want to show this right here. Like, this is actually crazy. Like, Bryson Bloomer's the showman of the night. And look, he was 0 for 2. His first 2 at-bats, he didn't get a hit. But then he got a walk-off sprint. So really good job laying off the ball and allowing that to happen to get his teammates in. And then the walk-off showdown grand slam. That was just an absolutely incredible moment and definitely earned him that there at the end. So we'll pull up that home
Mac
run
Danford.
Right here.
I was gonna say Darnold. I was like, no, that's not right. It's Danford. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll pull up that home run. But again, first home run in Tailgaters history, and it was off Drew Gillespie, which made it even more impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got it right here. So let's go ahead and get the screen back up for you guys, and we'll show this here. So Drew Gillespie against Mac Danford, 2 runners on in the top of the 8th, and right here takes the ball. I thought it was one more. There we go.
There it is.
Absolute bomb. And check this out. On the field right there, 400. He hit it over 400 feet, dead center, hits a 3-run home run right there. So absolutely crazy. Great job, Mac. We really love to see it.
Yeah, again, first ever home run in Tailgaters history. That's really, saying stuff like that's really fun to say because, this was the first ever game in Tailgaters history. So cool stuff.
Yeah, you can see their celebration right here, how excited they were for them. And this was the home run that actually made it so that the team, it was down 3-2 going into the 9th inning.
Yeah.
And that put the Tailgaters in a really good spot where they were able to tie it up. And right here, Celtics fan, that changed the whole game, 100%. It absolutely changed the game. It was super cool to watch. Thank you, Sabrina. 400 foot for a home run is super impressive. This is something that I love to see as a Banana Ball fan, where a lot of people are like, oh, they just do the TikTok dances. Like, they're not actual baseball players. Like, you cannot do this unless you're a great baseball player. It's absolutely impressive to pull off.
You can't do TikTok dances unless you're a good dancer. So these guys are both good dancers and good baseball players.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
But we wanted to celebrate that because that was one of the first tonight for the Texas Tailgaters. So we celebrated the first trick play, the first home run, and then just a couple other shout outs there. Christian Davis on the Texas Tailgaters, he had a streak where amongst 4 batters, he got 3 strikeouts. So really great performance there by Christian Davis.
Yeah, seriously. We're kind of forgetting about how great of a showing he had on the mound.
Yeah.
Because that's something that we were talking about in the middle of the game. We're like, holy cow, this guy's doing really good. That he got really hot. He got those strikeouts there. But then, holy cow, Brett Carson just stole the show. And I think we're going back to it, but that's probably the most impressive. Obviously, I think it's the most impressive debut in Banana Ball history, but the most impressive, like, in a loss type performance,
100%.
where we're going to remember his performance in a loss. There's a lot of times people have great games, but they lost, and so no one remembers it ever again. I will never forget this Brett Carson game because that was just amazing, even in the loss.
Yeah, and again, with that, like looking at this game, the Tailgaters have a very bright future ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I am so excited to see the rest of this season from the Tailgaters, see what they pull off for the tournament in the end. Like, the Party Animals, like, check this out. The Party Animals went 19-13 against the Bananas, and then they are the hottest team in Banana Ball right now, and the Tailgaters almost pulled off a win. They were toe-to-toe with them the entire game.
Yeah. Look at Brandon. Yeah, the regular listeners know that Brandon is ready to hop on the Tailgaters bandwagon as soon as possible. He's ready. He's ready. Any excuse to hop on that bandwagon. He wants to get a shirt. He wants to do all this stuff.
You can't tell me that those jerseys look sick.
No, those are the best. Those are the best jerseys in the sport right now. I think. I love the Party Animals, but I think those jerseys are the best. That blue just pops.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out though to the Firefighters. Their jerseys today, I think they're the best ones that they have. They look like actual firefighter gear. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, again, so this is just, I can't express enough how exciting of a moment this is in Banana Ball history. Tonight was the first doubleheader in Banana Ball history. So this was the first time that Banana Ball broadcasted 2 games at the exact same time. So there was an hour break between each game, but there was an hour in there where they were streaming those 2 games live at the same time. They had fans in both chats. They had people in both stadiums. They had all of the different people selling merchandise, all of that. Like, the fact that they're able to pull this off shows that they're going to continue to scale as we go forward, and we're going to get more of this in the future.
Yeah, and it was a little disappointing though to see how much fewer people were watching that Party Animals game instead of the Bananas game. Obviously, it makes sense. I understand it. The Bananas are the household name. They have over almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube. It's different than the Party Animals. We were looking at the numbers. I think at the height of the Bananas game, it was something like 17,000 people watching on YouTube. So obviously more in the stadium and everything. But towards the end of the game, after that game ended and people started to kind of wander over to the Party Animals game, it was like 5,000.
Yeah.
But still, 5,000 people saw an amazing game.
And that's going to be one of the things. So yeah, from a logistics perspective, like Sam was talking about, Party Animals have 300,000 subscribers. There's a lot less people that know about them. The other thing was the Bananas have had, like 30 to 40 live streamed games over the past 2 months.
Yeah.
This was the first Party Animals live stream. So just from a YouTube algorithm perspective, it's going to take some time for that to grow up as well.
For sure.
But the people that didn't watch that game tonight really missed out. And I think when these clips start going out there, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, I didn't even know that game was happening.
Yeah.
When's the next Party Animals headliner game? I'm definitely going to check it out.
And it's tomorrow. So, yeah.
So if you're on here and you didn't watch the game tonight, definitely going to want to check out the game between the Party Animals and the Tailgaters tomorrow.
For sure. Yeah, so there were a couple technical difficulties there. I think they're just trying to work out some of the bugs because, yeah, again, you're now splitting. You got to have some more people that are getting used to sorry, I lost my train of thought. Getting used to the process of doing this live stream. So yeah, there's a couple technical difficulties there, but overall, obviously didn't take away from the amazing game. Yeah,
it's going to be cool to see how they continue to flesh out those teams. They've got different people on the field at the 2 different games, different broadcasters, and that brings up Hackwait's comment here. Drake needs a broadcast partner. I would agree. I think that having a second person in there would be a huge benefit, but Drake did an impressive job holding down the fort by himself tonight.
Yeah, for those of you that have jumped on after Drake was on. He was on at the beginning. He hopped on for a couple minutes. It was awesome to get to talk to him. He said that he was like, my throat is bleeding. And so that was crazy to hear, but he did an amazing job. One of the best calls of the entire season was by him in this game, where the party animals, I forget all the specifics of the situation. I think it was like the second inning. The party animals get a hit. It goes, he goes right through, it actually went through Sunshine Luter's, Jonathan Luter's glove. And then the party animals score, and I think that was a walk-off right there. And he goes, welcome to, what was it? Yeah, welcome to Banana Ball, Tailgaters. And it's like, oh, man, that hurt. It's like, yeah, this is your welcome to Banana Ball moment. Like, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and definitely, yeah, Hackway. Yeah, I love Drake. He's great. He just needs the help. Agreed. Yeah, it's too much for one person to handle, and it's also what we've seen as well on the podcast, having a second person to bounce off
for sure
ideas, things like that. That's where Biko and Josh have a really cool dynamic for the Savannah Bananas games, being able to talk about the different things and then have somebody else to add some color. It really helps out. So totally agree. Getting someone in there with Drake would be awesome. And I don't know, in the past when they've done the little takeovers in the game where they take over an inning, they had Brett Helton up there, and he was pretty hilarious. So someday when he's not playing for the Party Animals anymore, I think he might have a future there in broadcasting.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it would be nice to get a color guy, color commentator that's up there, because Drake is an outstanding play-by-play guy. Just amazing work. And it was really awesome to have him on. So if you didn't get to see that, you're going to want to go back and watch it, or after this is published, once we're done going live, go watch that. Had a little technical difficulties at the beginning where apparently only we couldn't hear him, but everyone else could hear him, so that was a little embarrassing. Sorry about that. But yeah, you're going to want to hear what he had to say, because it was just awesome, and it was just really cool that he came on. So I think Brandon's pulling something up here.
Yeah, so we had Adam mentioned Chase Acuff pulling off a crazy double trick play. So I'm trying to find it in here and see if we can pull that up for you guys.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Is this right here? Let's see.
No.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh,
at least one of them. I think Chase Acuff might have had a couple of these double plays.
So this was this isn't the one he's talking about, but this is a cool double play, because I know the one you're talking about where Chase Acuff runs to second. But yeah, this is a cool one.
So bounces it to Dustin Baber between the legs and gets the out at first. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that you see this actually frequently in Banana Ball, where we see these double plays.
Yeah, it seems like Acuff and Baber have them the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know the one you're talking about there, where he gets the ball and he himself runs to second base, touches the bag, and then is able to throw him out at first. So it's like he single-handedly did the double play. We'll try to find that maybe a little bit later, but cool stuff.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool moments that we were able to see in the games. And also, again, we're talking a lot about the Tailgaters Party Animals game. That's the one that we were focused on tonight, but we were able to see some of the Bananas Firefighters game. So we'll definitely get into that in a little bit. But while we're getting there, let us know in the chat, the live chat right now. Would love to hear, what is your favorite team? We had all 4 teams play tonight. Are you a Bananas fan? Are you a Party Animals fan? Are you one of the Firefighters and Texas Tailgaters fan? Let us know, and we'll go over that in just a second. But
hey, my buddy Woodson. Great breakdown. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Sorry, I broke hair. Yeah, got a little distracted there, but that was awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for hopping on. Oh, Woodson says he's a Firefighters fan. Man, you had kind of a rough weekend. Sorry to your Firefighters 0-2. I know the Tailgaters haven't won yet, but they had an amazing showing tonight. But yeah, Firefighters are going to win. I believe that. So hang in there, buddy.
And then we've got Sabrina with the Texas Tailgaters, Sam, Party Animals, and Tailgaters. Definitely good to see both of those. But I think we should jump right into the Bananas and Firefighters game. There's a lot to go over there.
Woodson wants to hear about the Firefighters, so let's do it.
Okay, so I want to say that last night, the firefighters, it seemed like they had a lot of those jitters. We talked about this on the live stream last night. They seemed taking a little bit of time to get into the flow of everything. And this game, even though they lost, it was a really good showing.
It really was.
There were a lot of amazing trick plays. There were a lot of amazing, like on the pitcher's mound, the firefighters pitchers were doing incredible stuff. So it was a really good game for the firefighters.
Yeah, and there were some great moments. They had yesterday, for those that didn't watch the game yesterday, and for those that didn't hop on the live stream yesterday, there were some really cool moments. There were 3 Royals players that came out because the Royals won the World Series in 2015, so a decade ago now. And this game was played in Kansas City in the Royal Stadium. And so they had 3 Royals players come out and bat, and one of them field. And that was just really, really cool moment. But here, Jeremy Guthrie came out, so he got to play in this game. And he was a pitcher. He was a pitcher for that World Series championship team. And he came out, and man, the Royals, they're retired, but they're Major League Baseball players, but they're retired. All of them have had kind of a rough weekend. All 3 of the Royals players yesterday, they went 0 for 3, and then Jeremy Guthrie gave up a couple runs in this game. But it was just awesome to see him come out and pitch. And I just want to say, quick thing here. I'm one connection or 1 separation, 2 separations removed from Jeremy Guthrie. He was a mission president in Houston for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. One of my good friends in college was there with him, and so I'm 1 connection removed from Jeremy Guthrie. So that was cool to see my buddy Jeremy up there. So yeah, just kidding. I've never met him in person. I just wanted to say, so people think I'm cool. I kind of know that guy. So.
Yeah, and with that, this is a callback to the game last night. So the first batter last night for the Royals player, he stepped out of the box, and because you step out of the box, you get a strike, and it was strike 3.
Yeah,
that was absolutely insane. So with that, again, the Royals players that came out here, like they've been retired for a little bit, and the fact that they came, they were all so excited to be there, and it was really cool to see. And I'm excited to see more of these MLB players come out and play for the Bananas, and hey, maybe someday I can't wait for one of them to be like, the Bananas call them and they're like, no, I'm gonna go play for the Party Animals, or I'm gonna play for the Tailgaters. Like, that's gonna be a good moment.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. They all want to be, seen as a Bananas player, look like they're playing for the good guys or whatever. But no, I want to see someone come out and play for the Party Animals. They deserve it. They're playing amazing ball right now.
I want to pull up some of the things from this first game. There was one play in particular that absolutely blew my mind, and it came from Ryan Cox. Ryan Cox has had some incredible plays the last 2 games this weekend, where he's been able to pull off some really cool flipping through the glove. So we'll pull this up here for you guys to see, and then we'll pull up a couple of the other cool trick plays. So let us know if there's any other plays that you want us to try to pull up. And in the meantime, Hackweight, got to go with the OG Bananas. Love the bright yellow. Same here, man. So anybody else who's watching, let us know who your team is in the comments down below. Let's see if we can find this from Ryan Cox here.
Oh, sweet. And once you pull that one up, Adam, thank you for finding that for us. We will get that. I think you're talking about the Chase Acuff double play. So it was the first and second out in the 9th inning. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll pull that up in just a second. So this is the Ryan Cox one. This play absolutely blew my mind. So you got to watch this here. So Isaac Park hits it, and watch this. Snags it.
Just insane, man.
The glove work is insane. And then watch when it shows the replay. Did you see that Prime caught it behind his back? Like, absolutely insane. And they're so excited. But like the fact that Jackson Olsen knows that he's going to flip it to him in the glove is crazy. So watch this. Oh my gosh.
How does he do that? That's just crazy.
That absolutely blows my mind that he's able to keep it in the glove with that handle and throw it back to Jackson. And then, like, again, catching it at first base behind the back like that, absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh man, he's just getting better and better. Like for a while there, he was doing a lot of in between the legs stuff, bouncing stuff, kind of like dribbling type movements. But now he's just added this new element, I feel like, just in the past couple games where he's doing all the spinning stuff, throwing while the ball's still in his glove type. Yeah, just crazy. All right. This is the one that Adam wanted us to show.
Yes.
This is the Chase Acuff double play here. Let's see if it loads. And
also love Garrett Delano in the background there. That was awesome.
Nice.
So this is the double play that Adam's talking about. So check this out. So Chase Acuff grabs it, then runs to the base and then throws it over there. So this was not a banana ball trick play type thing, just a super impressive normal baseball move. So really awesome of Chase Acuff to pull off this double play here. So we'll see if it does a replay here.
Yeah. We're so spoiled here with banana balls. We've got some amazing shortstops because, Cox was just is outstanding and Acuff's outstanding for the Party Animals. Just some great stuff.
Yeah. So there's so many cool plays in this game, and I wanted to call out a couple other ones. One of them here that was a really cool moment, and we can kind of tee it up as I try to pull this up. So in addition to having like the Kansas City Royals MLB players come out, they had another person come on the field today, and it was actually really cool.
Yes, this was awesome.
This was Lonnie Gaudette, and he is a wounded warrior. So in the Army, he got wounded, and he actually has a prosthetic leg, and he came out for the Bananas because he had played in high school, and he came up to bat. Now, I'm not going to spoil the rest of it for you. I want you guys to see what happens there because it was a really awesome moment.
Yeah, this is just amazing stuff. We love stories like this, and Banana Ball gives us the chance to celebrate some real heroes. So this is what it's all about. Let's watch this.
Yeah, so pull it up right here. So it's already a 1-2 count. He's been doing a great job battling it off. And yeah, maybe it'll show it in a second with his prosthetic leg, but he's just doing a great job here. I can't believe that he's actually pulling this off. So there's the prosthetic leg right there, and coming up against the Firefighters, he gets this hit right to the outfield, and he gets on base. Now, if you look at the score right now, the Firefighters were up 1-0. The Firefighters are winning the game right now. There's 2 outs, and he comes up, and now he advanced the runner to second, advanced the runner to scoring position. Now, we're going to it's going to show right here. They're all celebrating. This is such a cool moment.
Really amazing.
His family comes out to first base, which it'll show in a second. But this hit right here might have won the Savannah Bananas the game tonight.
Yeah.
So they present him the ball. Super cool moment. But this was a little bit later. There's a ball four sprint,
right,
and the ball four sprint ends up scoring the Savannah Bananas, and they end up winning this inning, bringing it to be 1-1 for the game. So this guy, his hit won the Savannah Bananas game tonight. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, what a great moment there. Again, celebrating a real hero, and just awesome. Yeah, Hagwait says even the Firefighters are celebrating him. That's great. Yeah, that was such a great moment there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I love about Banana Ball is you can kind of take a step back where it's like they're playing a serious competitive game, but when push comes to shove, like everyone is there to just celebrate those big key moments. And it was really cool, like just the fact of like, hey, here's that ball. Like that's going to be a memory for this guy for life.
Yeah,
and it's super cool that he was able to do that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And going to the Tailgaters and Party Animals game, you have these moments where like Jonathan Luter's getting on his unicycle, and even though it's probably not in the interest of the Tailgaters, for a competitive edge for him to hit on a unicycle, it really isn't. He's a better hitter when he's a better batter when he's not on the unicycle, obviously. But, you have that moment where it's like, this is really cool. You're not going to see this anywhere else. And yeah, maybe it's not in the best interest for them competitively to do it. They still do it because they want to put on a show, but they still want to win the game. So, it's just this really cool mixture of both showmanship and competitiveness.
Yeah, and Celtics fan brings it up right here. Fighter Fighters game of nuts. The flyover before the game was amazing. What a way to honor our service members. Definitely. They do
For
a really
sure.
good job of that. And like Sammy said, pulling in the baseball, but then pulling in those other moments, which are really cool to see. Another really cool one that we wanted to highlight from the Firefighters game was this one here. So Stilts is up to bat.
There's Stilts.
And Matt Wolf played on the Savannah Bananas before he came to the Firefighters. He's actually an active firefighter, like in addition to playing on the team, the Firefighters. So he comes up against Stilts, and he's actually standing on his rodeo, or he's not standing on it, but he's going up against Stilts right there. And then check this out. Watch this trick play. He knows Stilts can't get there in time, and so he's just messing around and pulling off some crazy tricks.
He's a rodeo clown, right?
Yeah, so he pulls off some crazy stuff here. And I think it's going to show it here in just a second, but he does some crazy trick pitches, and the Bananas don't know what to do with it. And so, yeah.
Gosh, that's a balk. Come on.
And it's got to be so hard for the Bananas batters to go up against that, because like it totally looks like he's about
There's
to
a
throw the
reason
ball.
why you can't do that in regular baseball, but yeah, that's amazing. I love that you can do that in banana ball, but yeah, there's a reason why you can't do that in baseball.
Yeah, because it's like you totally see Ryan Coxler. He like lifts up his leg about, and he's like, "Wait, he's not going to throw it yet." But yeah, really cool moment for banana ball. I love seeing Matt Wolf out there, and it's going to be interesting to see where they all go the rest of the season here. But for everyone out there, again, we're going to go over this more in detail with the whole weekend as a whole, talking about tomorrow's game in our Banana Breakdown podcast coming out next week, and check out for the Reese Alexiadis one coming on Monday. But do you have anything else before we close up today, Sammy?
No, I just want to say this game was just amazing. This Party Animals and Texas Tailgaters game, just welcome to Banana Ball. You know, Drake said that in the broadcast, kind of in a fun, good-natured way, but kind of in a mocking way, right? The Party Animals scored. Welcome to Banana Ball Tailgaters. But they came back and they said, yeah, welcome. You know, they accepted that welcome, and they said, we're here to stay. You know, Brett Carson said, I am here to stay. I am one of the best pitchers in the league. I am showing it right now, going head to head against Drew Gillespie. I'm going to show how good I am. You know, welcome to Banana Ball Tailgaters, and you're here to stay. It was awesome. But ultimately, Bryson Bloomer had other plans, and the Party Animals pulled it off, and I'm super happy about that. But yeah, one of the best games in Banana Ball history. So glad that we're able to go live right after to break it all down. Super awesome to have Drake on the show at the beginning. Again, if you haven't seen it, go back, watch it. He is such an awesome guy. Really great for the Party Animals. Really great for the sport. Great broadcaster. Can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah, so we're really glad to be able to go live after this one. It's been a while since we've had a showdown. Really cool to watch. I absolutely love showdowns. The greatest overtime in sports. And yes, eMario45, the Bananas did good also today. Yes, really great showing from the Bananas. We talked a lot about the Party Animals and Tailgaters today because that was such a momentous game in Banana Ball history. But yeah, we'll go back and talk a little bit more about that on our podcast this week. And Hackway, thank you for being here. So glad that the YouTube algorithm sent you here.
Subscribe.
We're glad to have you. Yes, there's much more coming down the line with this next week. Going to a live game, going to Savannah Bananas Day at Disneyland, Reese Alexiadis on the podcast. So much good things in the future of Banana Ball, and it's just growing bigger. So for all of you out there, I hope you have a great night, and
go Party Animals.
Go Bananas.